I missed it. I missed it by like, what, 5 seconds? Nearly got it. I nearly got it this time. Nearly got it so that we didn't have a repeat of the theme, but no. Oh well. You can't have it all, can you? Good morning, everybody. Have you all had a good, nice, relaxing weekend? Hello. Oh, wow. Anthony and Sindri, you were here way early. Loving your work. Good morning, Plebiscide, Ogrin, Dean, Nobody, Liam, Jop, Zini. I'm sure I'm pronouncing at least one of those wrong. Hang on, Leo. Glory to the old world. May it outsell AOS forever. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I don't necessarily think that it is going to outsell AOS, let alone forever. I could be totally wrong. I could be completely wrong. But I have a feeling that... I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, I hope you all had a lovely weekend. Oh... It's not even... We're like 5 minutes in and I need to get the totally normal sized water out. Hello, some guy who paints. How you doing? Morning, Glacier. Now, this stream is on like super low latency now, so hopefully there won't be as much of a delay between what I say and what you say. That's the goal. That's the aim. That's what I'm hoping for. Good morning, is it not, mate? I will repeat this later, but Work in Progress Wednesdays last week was a huge success. I really enjoyed it. We got loads done. We painted most of 4 tanks, which you can see now are up there. I've done a bit of reorganisation. The tanks are up the top there, all lined up, all nice like. We're going to try and finish those this coming Wednesday. We're not going to stream all day on Wednesday. We're going to stream in the evening instead. We need to do some evening streams. We're going to start introducing some evening streams because, you know, there's going to be more people available during the evenings. I like streaming during the day because I'm more awake, but evening makes sense as well. Good morning, Keith. So yeah, we're going to be doing it again, but we're probably going to switch up Wednesdays to being an evening job, and we're going to do like probably 3rd Sunday of the month or something. We're going to do like an all-day hobby stream. We're just going to spend all day hobbying on a Sunday. Only once a month because I don't want to abandon my family every single weekend. But yeah, that's the general plan. Oh, there it is. Now would be a good time to insert ads. Now would be a good time to insert ads. That's what it says. That's what it reckons. Also, for some reason, mine is suggesting... YouTube is suggesting that this is only going to be an hour long. It has a set duration, which is wild. I didn't know it did that. Or is that just the YouTube player being naff? It's just the player being naff, it's fine. Good morning, Lunch Break Painter. And Zingbo, how you doing? Hey, where's my... Look at that. Why is my member goal moved? What's that about? Why is that shifted? There we go. Let's have it back where it should be. We're not asking much. Not asking much. Only the 10. The knights are out... Well, we'll talk about that in a minute, Keith. I'll be honest. Doreen's gonna have to talk a little bit for me to grab one of the new knights straight away. On the upside, for those of you who were around on Wednesday, wife's car is repaired. It's fixed, so it's on its way back. So that's nice. Having been demolished by someone whilst it was parked, it is on its way here, which is nice. Didn't take long. Still horribly expensive and not great, but it didn't take long to get it repaired, so that's something. That's nice. Nice end to the weekend. Oh, and I finished painting some surprises. Michael, Katie, if you're watching, you need to look away now because I painted some nice surprises over the weekend. Just something nice to surprise the party with in D&D. You've had your warning. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So gross. So creepy. There will be quite a few of you, I'm sure, who know exactly where that's from. Don't worry, though. It's not just that. There's also smaller ones, too. Yeah. That's going to be fun. It's going to be fun, that. It's going to be fun. Yeah, you know it, Alex. Honestly, I'm not surprised those bigger knights are 120. I mean, when you look at the cost of the... is it the Knight Tyrant as well? I believe it's the Knight Tyrant. Like, super expensive. I mean, that's the same as the Mega Gargant, right? 120 quid? I believe. I believe that's the same as the Mega Gargant. Yeah, for the for the benefit of my players, showed off some nice cakes. Oh, okay, no, it's the Knight Valiant and the Knight Castellan. Those are 110. So, yeah. But being 120, right, is a problem for me because they don't even have a. They don't have any variety in the kit. It's the same thing with the Valiant and the Castellan, where it's like they're two separate kits instead of getting all the options in one box. I don't like that approach at all. I don't like the lack of option. It's just a bit like, yeah, I don't like the way they've separated those out. Hello, Daniel. I'm very good, thank you. Yeah, well, that's the thing, Asriel. They are quite a bit bigger. They are genuinely big models, bigger than the current knights. So, oh, you know what? I hadn't. Oh, look at this! Look at this, gang. I hadn't even realised this. I hadn't even noticed that the Mega Gargants had gone up to 130 quid. Or at least if I had, I'd forgotten. I must have just pushed it out of my brain. Hello, Blunticulus. And Alphadus, yeah, they're pretty big. No, I've already seen you, Alphadus, sorry. Oh, God. Wake up, brain. Come on. I'm too blown away by either forgetting or only just finding out that these have gone up to £130 each. It must have come up before. It must have done. But I'm assuming that I just blocked it out because it made me sad. Because that's horrendous. I can tell you right now that none of my Mega Gargants, none of what's on there, cost anywhere close to 130 quid. It did not cost that much. None of them. Good grief. They're not even as big as Knights, Mega Gargants. That's the thing that gets me. They're not even as big. They're not as posable. It's just mad. It's just mad decision making. Why would you make them that much? Well, it's because they can. It's because they can, gang. That's why. Honestly, if you can get them from a third party, you should always buy from a third party. Always. Like, there's literally, in my opinion, there is literally no reason to buy from Games Workshop unless it's a direct only order that you're having to make. Good morning, Rat Bastardly. Excellent name. Yeah, there's just no point buying from Games Workshop unless it's something that only Games Workshop sells by making it, direct only. It's totally pointless. You'd always go third party. Unless there is some sort of loyalty thing that GW have got going on if you buy from their site. I don't know. because I never buy from their site. Because why would I? I mean, just the example of those Mega Gargants, right? I'm just curious because it's going to be so very severe, the difference between... Yeah, okay. So, instead of buying Mega Gargants from Games Workshop, just don't do that, and instead buy them from Element. There's an affiliate link in the description. Just throw that in there. Like, that's still cheaper than it was before the price rise. So, yeah, there's just no point. Just no point. Some third parties do sell direct only as well. Oh, that's... Is it Alchemist that sell direct only but still give a discount? I can't remember. Yeah, but you're right. There's a few. That's True Lenticulous, but I think Noble Knight Games, I don't know if they do... Do they do like the brand new releases? I can't remember. I can't remember whether they do or not. I think they do. And they're like, funnily enough, cheaper than Games Workshop. No, maybe they don't. Either way, there's like other stores and stuff. Other stores that you can go to. Oh yeah, no, there we go. New release. Minkalesque. So on Noble Knight Games, she's $3 less. So yeah, there's options. There is options if you're in the US. Which, funnily enough, also an affiliate link in the description. Look, you've got to do everything you can to try and get around the god awful ad revenue that is YouTube these days. Good morning, James. So we're going to be doing another painting stream on Wednesday, but we're going to be doing it in the evening rather than during the day. So you'd think, Believer, that it would be worth them doing, but they just don't. They just don't. German retailers often get so little stock that people want day one things have to rely on Games Workshop. Ugh. But, yeah. I mean, the whole stock issue has been a real thing for a while now anyway, hasn't it? Hello, Kenneth. All good, thank you very much. I hope you are too. I'm making a custom chapter with Dark Angels, Legion, Firewing Emblem. Got printed shoulder pads, but I need some transfers. There's got to be some... I can't think of a custom transfer company off the top of my head, but then I don't tend to use transfers because I'm not just necessarily lazy. It's more that I just don't... I can never get them to look good, to be honest. I can never do it. And when I attempt to freehand it, it's bad, so I just don't do it. It's just easier to not do it, you know? 30k transfer sheets on eBay for £70? Bargain! Absolute bargain, that is. What are you talking about? 70 quid for transfers? You know what? I haven't done for a little bit. I haven't looked on eBay for dodgy models. I wonder if we could... if we just search for Forge World, if we might find something interesting that we could then use. We could strip down and use for something. It's something that I keep meaning to do and keep needing to do, but I always... I struggle. I struggle to commit. I really struggle to commit. What the hell? Okay, look. I just on a whim went onto eBay. What is this army going to be? What? What is this going to be? This is better be good for £1,000. £1,000? What have we got for £1,000? Warhammer Tyranid Army Bundle. For 1,000. I mean, good lord. Good lord. So we've got 2 Tyrannofex. We've got 9 Venomthropes. Hive Guard, a Combat Patrol, a Boarding Patrol, Parasite of Mortex, a Barbed Hierodule, a Hierophant. Oh my god. Is that the colour resin that is used for the Hierophant? Yeah, is there a list? Is there a list down here? There's got to be a list. Okay. 2 Tyranid Half Leviathan box set. All items have not been built. Out of production Winged Hive Tyrant with Venom Cannon. Interesting. Fair enough. Fair enough if that is what the resin looks like for the Hierophant. I just don't think I've seen like a yellow coloured resin before. Huh, interesting. To be fair, that's a lot of stuff. That is a lot of stuff. That's a lot of stuff. Good grief. What do we reckon? Do we reckon that's a bought with good intentions but never got round to a situation? Yellow resin pre-2010s. Huh. Fair enough. I could have sworn that I've bought Forge World stuff from before then. Although, does it depend on like the size of the model as well? Because thinking about it, I've not built something like that big. Because the Hierophant, whatever it is, the big Bio Titan, that's massive. I've seen one in person, and it's pretty damn big. So, yeah. Lion has 2 different colour resins in one kit. Interesting. Fair enough. Oh. Orc in Mega Armour. Got a slight yellow tinge after being in sunlight. Huh. I'll tell you what I really want. I really want to buy a Warhound, but that seems unlikely to happen. Oh, something to bid on maybe. No, that's going to go. That's going to go for way more than that. I got excited for a second because I saw a Malcador Infernus, and I want a Malcador Infernus like you would not believe. I love the Malcador Infernus. It's so good. It's so good. It's the best. It's the absolute best. Buy one. Look, like I said, Doreen's gonna have to sing a little bit to be able to get either a Knight or a Malcador Infernus. Honestly, a plastic Malcador would have been solid, Lord Callig. I would have preferred that by far. By far. Definitely. I need my kidneys. They're important to me. I mean, I'll sell someone else's kidney. Someone's to give me a kidney to sell. I'll be all over it. Dawn is good, but it's not some Malcador. Yeah, it's just... Yeah. Oh, the Macarius. I mean, the Macarius is also solid. But, I mean, The Malcadoran Furnace is the best of the Malcadors, and the Vulcan Macarius is the best Macarius, in my humble opinion. I absolutely love the Vulcan Macarius. It is awesome. It's the best. The Vanquisher is cool, but there's just something about two massive Gatling guns that I don't know. I don't know. I just like it. I like it a lot. A lot. Oh, that reminds me, actually. We are going to start the preview in a sec, but there is an article that we also need to have a look at with regards to the Knights, because it makes me happy. Makes me happy. It looks like the Knights are going to be properly good, if very expensive. But then what isn't very expensive when it comes to Games Workshop these days? 2 barrels twice as cool. Well, that's the thing. With the Gatling ones, it's not just 2 barrels, it's like 12 barrels. 6 on either gun. That's the thing. Like, is it 6 barrels or is it 5 barrels each? 10 barrels, yeah. I mean, either way. Either way. Well, I was thinking, Tonkstruck, once we've done the tanks and the Sisters of Battle, we did think about doing the Tau Combat Patrol as part of Whip Wednesdays, because that would be fun. That would be cool. I'd actually really enjoy doing that. Right, let's have a look at the preview. We already know what some of it is. We already know what some of it is. Not all of it, but some of it. We already know. Macarius Vulcan has got 14 barrels. See? It's just better. It's just better. Including your stubbers and sponsons. Yeah, exactly. Look, Calig. Look here. I'm being very good and being very restrained. And we're going to get through what I already have before I start picking up new stuff. In theory. But it would just be tanks. It would just be tanks. It would just be all tanks. Basically, the armoured company that's up there, but tinier and more of them, is what it would be. And I'm not saying it's going to happen, because it's not going to happen. But if it did, that's what it would. That would be the thing that it is. Also, mini dreadnoughts. I mean, mini dreadnoughts would also be cool. Stop tempting me. Get out of it. You've got to get out of it. Unless you're going to be chucking memberships around to fund it, it's not going to happen. Oh my god. The timing. The timing, Chris, was absolutely insane. The timing was mad. Did you do that on purpose, or was that just coincidence? Because that's incredible. Unless you're going to throw memberships around, I'm not starting an epic army. And immediately, instantly, 5 memberships. Absolute hero. What the hell? Thank you very, very much, Chris. Oh, that's funny. You properly called me out there. You properly called me out, like, straight away. Just immediately. just straight off the bat. He just showed up and was like, yeah, and? There you go. Better start that epic army, hadn't you? Sorry, not epic. It's not epic. It's not epic. Alright?
It's not a kidney, but here's 10% of a Malcadoran furnace.
Thank you very much, Aaron. Thank you for the 10% of a Malcadoran furnace. I mean, if look, I'm not going to lie, I would 100%. I would 100% get one. I'm not sure when to start an epic army is GW support for the boss games is so swingy. It's true. It's absolutely correct. Yes, that it can be It could go super well. You know what? This is like a mild tangent in a way, but that is something that is making me a little bit concerned about the old world, genuinely. Because how much support is that going to get? Or are they just going to throw it out there and be like, okay, we've done it. Old world's back. We have a few new resin models, and we've brought back some old kits. Let's go. And then, like, what if that's it for a while? Like, it probably won't be. I'm sure it'll be fine. But I don't know. Horus Heresy started out like guns blazing, and then the support for it just sort of got steadily less and less and less, and then suddenly it was like new plastic and stuff, and then we had a bunch of new models, and it feels like outside of Epic it's kind of ebbed away again, having had a big drop. And I mean, it's impossible to just fully support everything all the time, like they don't have the capacity for that, but I don't know. It feels like big things happen and then not much else happens for ages, which is true of every system, but the old world, especially given the way that system died, feels like it would need to be really looked after. Same thing with Epic, like, kind of feels like it really needs to be taken care of, you know? Thank you very much for watching, Alex. Cuddly contemptors. Well, I mean, when you put it like that. GW can call it whatever they want, but much of the community will continue to call it Epic. I mean, yeah, it is pretty much exactly that. 3D print even smaller Leviathan dreads to put on the new Epic Leviathan bases. That's actually very tempting. Wish Epic 30k didn't exist. Maybe most Titan planes for rules, but don't go whole. Well, that's the thing. I don't know. I don't know. It's I kind of thought they would eventually do it, and it will. Oh no, Doreen had the day off. Doreen refused. Doreen is Tory Blunticulus. Doreen, unfortunately, won't talk for less than $2 because Doreen's got an attitude problem, and it's not something that I've implemented either. But thank you very much. Keep it at 10% after price rises. Well, yeah, I don't know how much a Malcador Furnace actually is right now, but it's got to be worse, right? Did they put the rules up for the? Oh no, you know what? You know what else? You know what this is? This is completely irrelevant. But this guy, I still want this guy. I want this guy like you wouldn't believe. This guy's awesome. This guy looks so cool, and I want him. I mean, this whole warband, I really, really want. They look great. Anyway, Malcador Furnace. Malcador. Oh, 126 quid. Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad. Oh. But at the same time, look at it. At the same time, how could you not love it? It's so cool. It's so good. Also, I'm looking at the trailer, right? I've never noticed this before. I'm looking at the trailer. That is just one lump of resin, isn't it? The trailer. The trailer is just one chunk. You probably put the pipes on. You put the pipes on, and there's like the little connector section there. But the rest of it is just a chunk of resin, and then you stick the wheels and the pipes, by the look of things. Is it just the wheels? Just the wheels? Wow, okay. Love it. I just love it. I just love it, okay? I can't help it. I can't help it. Everyone loves it. It's impossible not to. How much is the Vulcan Macarius? 145. Oh, it's so bad. But then again, this is the other one that just looks amazing. I mean, look at that tank. It's so good. It's so good. Just one of my faves. One of my absolute faves. I wouldn't have a dude sticking out the top of it either. Fully enclosed. They're both so good. Like, where's the plastic version of that? Alright, fine. There's a Lancer. That's cool. But, like, also, you know, maybe make plastic versions of the cool tanks you have. Maybe do that. That'd be nice. Maybe, like, I'd appreciate it at least. So many people would. Right, you know what? Let's have a look at. So you can go away. You can go away. So can you. Let's have a look at some. Let's have a look at some previews. See what we got. We know that we got the Knight, and we also now know that we got the Ratmen. I know it's Skaven, but still. I'm not going to play the video. I'm not going to play it, alright? And I'm not going to play it because it's going to get copyright claimed, like every other video I play off this godforsaken website. Well, actually, it's muted. No, it'll come through my microphone, so we're just going to carry on. So, first thing we've got up is the Knight Lancer. Why they picked that specific pose for this picture, I don't know. This one, it's not that good a pose, you know? It looks very, like, nonchalant, I guess.
Tank Fund.
Thank you very much, Plebiscite. Do we need to change the member thing on the other screen to just Tank Fund? Is that what we need to do? Just go for full Tank Fund. So, yeah, I don't know why they picked this pose for this, because this looks like one of the best kits they've done for posing ever. Now, they did do an article about this, right? And this bugged me, this article, because they didn't tell us anything at all. So we've got the Knight, right? We've got the Knight, the tiny toy tank bank. Oh my god. Oh, I didn't even like saying that out loud. It felt weird. Yeah, but Alec, man, there's other poses you can do that also show that it's a Knight Lancer. This isn't the only pose that shows the lance. But, like, this one is make a tank stretch goal on the bottom of the stream. I mean, I can... Yeah. I can do it if you want. I don't know how successful this is going to be, but I can probably make one quickly. Give me a new one. Give me... yeah, whatever. I don't... Okay, hang on. What would it be? Goals. This. I don't know. That's the wrong currency. I don't want it in this currency. That's no good for it. Alright, fine. I'll just change the... Is there a way to change the currency on this? I don't know how Stream Elements works. You like, something that you guys don't know is that I'm really bad at this, which is a real pity because it's part of my job. But the fact is, I'm not good at it, alright? I'm not good. I'm bad at this whole thing. Alright, so I want to add a browser? Why are you making me do this now as well? Like, it's such a bad idea to do this live. Like, what? Why would you do it? Why would you do what I'm doing? Got to label it all, otherwise it will go everywhere. Oh, didn't like that, did it? See, look, this looks terrible. This is bad. I also don't know where it is. I also don't know where the whole thing's gone. Oh, there it is. Hey, look at that. Hey, we did it. Awful. Terrible. There you go. Easy. Add it in quickly. I don't know if that's the correct amount. I don't think it is. It also isn't correct because it hasn't... It at no point has registered what's already been sent. So really, it's just an absolute nightmare. Oh, that's because it's wrong. I see. That's because it's wrong, gang. That's why. That's actually the wrong thing that I've just done. So we're going to pretend that didn't happen. We're going to pretend that didn't happen. Because frankly, it's easier. It's easier to just pretend, isn't it? It's easier. Because if we pretend it didn't happen, then no one will know, and we can just ignore the whole thing. That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. There we go. There we go. Now I fixed it. Now I fixed it. I'm great at this. I'm absolutely great at it. See? Look, it's fixed it. Anyway, so this article, I was really hoping that what they'd do, that was such a completely irrelevant waste of time for everybody. So something that I was really hoping for this was that they would show the sprues and show the kind of flexible nature of the kit. That's what I was really after. Because they've said that this is supposed to be like a super flexible kit, right? As with the legs, there are a lot of options for posing the arms. But the problem is they didn't show any of it. And that makes me sad, because this is a really good opportunity to really show off how, like, what could be done with this particular...
Pop a penny in the tiny toy tank bank.
Thank you very much, Blunticulus. Yeah, like it... Most of the joints have kept their full range of motion. But there's no evidence of that in the article. There's no evidence of it, and I want to see it. You know, I want to see the thing. I want to see it do the thing and show off what this can do. The ankle pistons all slide in and out to accommodate various stances.
Tank fund.
Thank you very much, Harry Dickinson. I can't believe this has become a thing, and this quickly as well. Do we just do a tank fund? So every single stream will do a tank fund, and then the stupid armed company is going to go massive. So yeah, like, this is a good article in that it tells you how good the knight is going to be and how posable it's going to be. It's not a good article in that they don't show that at all. Instead, to actually show how good it is, you have to go to the article that shows that the Warhammer Studio people have been painting the Lancer. But what I want to know is, why weren't at least some of these used in the one that's supposed to show how articulated it is? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just a weird spread of information, and it doesn't need to be spread out the way it is. Oh, okay. Getting ridiculous now. I want to see what Doreen does.
E.
Just E. Why just E? E. You could probably get her to spell out YMCA doing that, actually. There's a thing that I've never thought about, actually. That'd be great. Okay. EA, but no. I don't like that I heard that. As soon as you said it, as soon as you typed it, Lord Calig, I was like, oh no. I can hear it in my head. Thank you very much, Alec Man, for the E. Just the E. So yeah, this is actually a really good article. Not least because, like, most of these are fantastically painted. And at the very least, really, really well painted. But also, some of the poses on this thing, it just makes me excited about the fact that it is this posable, you know? So, this first one, really nice running pose. I love the shield forward approach. It looks fantastic. And again, it's a totally different pose to that very static pose. You can also do that. Like, that's awesome. Especially when you consider that all the Imperial Knights, all the Chaos Knights are monopose. The legs are the same on every single one. If you want to repose the legs on any of those kits, you've got to cut them up. Because otherwise, it's just not possible. Like, it's literally not possible without doing a bit of surgery. And again, really nice kind of... That's a nice standing pose. Looks sort of more ready, more prepared. It is funny that you mentioned that standard deviation, because I do know someone who's planning to do exactly that. It is, yeah, Prime Lever. It's I don't like the fact that it's going to be 3 separate kits. I don't like that at all. But again, a nice pose, a very brave pose with that leg not being fully connected to the ground there, it looks like. That one, I don't think it is. No, the torso's not. So shield is raised a bit higher. Legs are side by side as opposed to being one in front of the other. The lance is at a different angle. Torso isn't moved. Yeah, no, that's different pose. Also, this one and that one are definitely not the same either. This one's far less tilted down. Again, torso and knee joints are different. But again, it does a good job, this article, of showing some different poses. This one is very similar to one of the previous ones. In fact, that one and that one look very similar, but I think there's a slight difference in the way that they've done the legs. I mean, if the other 2 variants come in one kit, then it's not as much of a pain. But I don't know if it's just there's 3 different nights, so there's 3 different kits, or there's one night and then there's 2 other nights in a different kit. I'm not sure which way round it is. I don't actually know. Well, that's the thing with Lenticulus. It's like Monopose is how Mega Gargants were made, and it sucks. That's quality pose. That's great. Again, nice and different from most of the others. This is such a good article for showing how different it can be. And like I say, there's some really, really nice, paint jobs going on. I want to have one in a diorama of it just eviscerating one random small guy with a lance. That would be quality. I would love it. I would love that. It will take about a year or 2 and then combine them to one kit. Well, we had a point at one stage where the Questoris Knights, like one of them or 2 of them were available in one box, and then the other 3 were available in a different box, if I remember correctly. Be interested to see if they went the Gundam route with the power ammo feed cable for the Knights. I really hope they do. I hope they keep the power cable. Like, again, I don't know. It looks really promising off this article. It looks really, really promising. Also, the Knight Lancer is extremely poseable, but despite all the options, Phil decided to keep his in a signature stock pose. But even that is way different to that. And also, the signature stock pose looks great. Like, yeah. I would be very interested to know whether, like, any surgery had to be done on these to make them this varied. I would hope that there wasn't any. Like, that is a badass pose. Also, sticking a Paul Leviathan on the base there. Harsh. Real harsh. I know what to do. A lancer riding a Lord of Skulls like a horse. Yes. I agree with that. That is what you specifically should do. They did mention posable ammo feed. Oh yeah, no, what? I think you're right. Do you think they'll release upgrade sprues for the different Rastus Knights? It'll be, yeah, I feel like it's going to be 3 separate boxes, and then eventually Eventually it'll just be like, whatever. They did mention you just need to snip the pegs that line them up for the standard pose. Right, okay. 3 out of 4 screws will be the same. Yeah, that's true. I mean, 120 quid, this is the other thing as well, right? 120 quid is a lot. These, before they went, were very expensive. Like, I don't know that they're currently up on their site on Forge World anymore. I'm just gonna have a quick look. Mechanica? No, not Mechanicus. What am I looking for? Imperial Knights is what I'm looking for. So there we go. So the Knight Acheron and the Knight Castigator are up there still. So, oh my god. The Castigator is 225, so is the Atropos, which I really hope they do the Atropos in plastic. Yeah, like, it's £105 cheaper. Yes, it's still expensive, right? It's still expensive. 120 quid is still a lot of money. But it's not like close to $250,000 anymore. You know? It's definitely expensive. But the resin ones are just so expensive. So expensive. It's such a massive price difference. I mean, I do really hope though that we get to see the Atropos. This is my favourite one, to be honest. This is just an absolute badass looking kit. Like, even if they just took bits of this and put it with the plastic kit, that would still be cheaper. The Porphyrin, I don't know if they're ever going to do the Porphyrin or the Asterius. Both of those are hilariously expensive though. Like 430 quid for the Porphyrin. Oh, it's so brutal. It's so bad. Ugh. I mean, the Porphyrin definitely looks better, to be honest. You know what? You know what other tank? You've got me going now. You know what other tank is absolutely badass, and again, like, I need it. This thing right here. This is quality. Look at it. It's so good. It's so good. I want one so bad. It's great. Anyway, yeah. So the Lancer, if this article is anything to be believed, it is. It looks like it's going to be nice and customizable. There's lots of nice poses going on. There isn't any like obvious jank where things have had to be cut or messed around with. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting my hands on one of these eventually. Does the Minotaur not have rules anymore? No, don't tell me they got rid of my precious Minotaur. I mean, look at them. I mean, the Minotaur's great. Tell me they got rid of that. Boo, I say. Boo. So yeah, that's good. That's quality. That's nice. We've also got Weird Hollows back with Scabix Plague Pack. This is, again, one of the best. Oh, man. Something about Underworlds and Warcry, they just can't stop making really, really solid boxes. Like, really solid warbands. They just can't stop. They just don't ever stop. Like, this is great. This is a great little set of models. I love the little, well, he's not really that little. This is the thing, right? So we've got the Skaven. There is just a rat there, but the rat is nearly as big as the rat men. And he's also carrying a little bit of warpstone, which just makes me super happy. He's just a happy lad. He's trying to help out. He's trying to help out around, just, around the house. I I love the mix of weapons. The fact you've got like just a staff and a knife in one hand on one of them. You've got that massive like mace, two-handed, on the other. But then you've got another dude who's just got two rusty kitchen knives. They don't even look like daggers. They just look like old kitchen knives. Oh. They look so good. It's such a good warband. The main guy I really, really want. Like, really want. He looks incredibly evil, but also quite fun. Which is a weird mix, but I don't know. I like it. Yeah, just really solid. Really solid. The thing is, though, it does highlight just how much Skaven need an update. Like, Skaven are really flagging. Like, they're just... I don't think they've had any significant updates for quite a while. I'm just having a quick look. Where's their... There we go. So, if we get this up here, like... This is all pretty damn old. The Storm Fiends not so much, but like the Storm Vermin, the Clan Rats are both kind of ancient. The Plague Priest is really getting on a bit. A lot of their options are just what they had in fantasy, and they have not been touched since, you know? We do have some cool stuff that has come along, like the Warlock Bombardier and stuff. Like, he looks really cool. But there's so much stuff that is just ancient in this range. I mean, the Plague Monks, they look so old now. But then you've got things like the Vermin Lord, and the Vermin Lord looks fantastic. It looks great. Also, I need the Warp Lightning Cannon back. That needs to be no longer out of stock, because I need them. Gutter Runners are old enough to drink in America. God, look at, they don't match half the rest of the range. They don't match them. Like, look at the state, look at the difference. I know these are Plague Monks here, but still, the faces are different. Like, come on. Get it together. Show the Rat Men some love. They deserve it. They definitely deserve it. Although I will say this thing is still on my list of things to at some point get and paint. The Hell Pit Abomination. Just what the hell is this? It's horrendous. I love it. Like, it's got wheels in the middle of it. It's so gross. It's so gross. It's great. Absolute monstrosity. Fantastic model. Also, the Doom Wheel is super useful, and I wish it wasn't direct only. Just throwing that in there. Yeah, the Hell Pit Abomination is really, really nicely designed. I really, really like it. So we've also got the Paths of Prophecy Rivals deck as well. Complete deck attunes your warband to the Cosmic Omens that suffuse the Weird Hollow. Okay, cool. I really need to paint like at least one of my Underworlds warbands. Another Gargan? I don't know. I don't know that... I would have to do significant things to that to make it suitable to be a Mega Gargant. Plus, it's already awful. Like, I'm not sure what else I would add to it, because it's already very nightmarish. It could kind of work as a standalone, but then again, I don't know. It might just look like I'm just fielding a Hell Pit Abomination. The rest of the Mega Gargants are like different enough from their base models that I feel like they can stand on their own. But I'm not sure what else I would do with this one. But then again, something to think about. Might be able to do something with it. It would be fun. It'd be fun to try. So we've also got the Claim Jumper, which, by the way, I realised in the video for this, absolutely at no point use the correct name. I just kept calling him the Ironhead Squat Prospector. But, to be fair, I didn't... Like, the dude's fine. I was just too happy about the Techmite Autoveyor. Like, I wasn't paying attention to the guy all that much. The guy's fine. The guy's okay. He's there. He exists. That's fun. But the little robot is the best thing. And that was what caught my eye, and that's what the main video ended up being about. Less about the bloke, more about the robot, because the robot's great. This game getting a Warcry thing would be nice. Your main line is... well, you never know. I think we probably do know, but it'd be nice, wouldn't it? So we've also got the Fall of Cadia Mega Limited Edition. Oh, God. So this is going to show up on eBay for a significant amount of money very quickly. Yep. Quite a few people have pointed out that hard hat look is most likely correct, Prometheus. Like it's intentional. Because the rest of like this gang have got like a little hard hat going on, like a yellow helmet, and that's pretty much what that is. He's just got a little hard hat, which is amazing, and I love it. It's awesome. So yeah, what do you reckon? Do you reckon this is going to go onto eBay in vast quantities immediately, or is it going to take like 30 minutes? Because 1,750 copies is not a lot. Each unique number copy is signed by the author, with an intro from the author. You also get a Cadian medal, replica dog tags, and a poster map of Kazakhraf. And there's a 64-page softback in-world diary written by Cadet Corporal Willem Jossop of the 322nd Country. Yeah, I mean, that's going to just vanish immediately. Weirdly drab. Oddly drab, that, to be honest. A bit drab, appearance-wise. Like, I don't know, I feel like... Well, I suppose it makes sense. It is a war zone after all, but...
For the Mega Rat Tank Bank, Kit Bash help it with Infernus for Chaos Tonk.
Thank you very much, Lord Callie. That, I don't know how we would make that work, but hey, I'll try anything. I'll try anything, to be honest. Make the Help It Abomination pull the Orc Beast Snagger wagon. Oh my god. It's true. Like it is very like military, which obviously is the point given it's Cadia. But I feel like some of their like special editions have had just, I don't know, like have been similar in style but a bit more exciting visually. I don't know how to put it. So, Vainglorious, we've got that on the way. Somehow Kane has been dragged back into action. Then we've got Kane the Anthology. Good grief. Got a lot of Astra Militarum at the moment. Oh no, but then there's also For Glory and Honor. So, you know. Excessive Bling is also standard issue in 40k. It's true. And then we took a short break, and now we're back with some more Guard. They've really gone for it with the Guard, haven't they? Blimey. And I was going to say, and then there's Grey Knights, and then straight away back in with the French edition of Witchbringer. So, good grief. Huron Blackheart in German as well, Harrowmaster in French, good lord. And I do not sign up for Warhammer Plus anymore, so, sure. Yep. I think I've said a couple of times that what I used to watch is not on there anymore, so I don't bother subscribing to it, which I think is fair. I think that's a fair reason to stop using Warhammer Plus if the person that the content that you were watching is now gone. It's like, well, that actually reminds me. That reminds me. Okay, right. Look here. Look. Look. Gang. Oh, no, Rat. No. The main thing that I found interesting on Warhammer Plus was the Citadel Painting Masterclass, which Louise Sugden did. But she's left, and she has her own channel now called Rogue Hobbies. And so, the thing that I used to watch the most, I just don't watch on there anymore because there's no... Yeah. There's nothing to keep me there now. Because the thing I watch the most is now gone. So it's just like, why bother? Oh, hang on, we've met the member goal, so we need to get rid of that. But we also have the tank. We have the tank goal now, which means we've got to add the tank goal in, which is going to be a real pain because it means I've got to add it in again. All right, let's just do this. Oh no, hang on. Add existing tank fund. Oh, look at that! It's almost in the right place as well. Oh my god, who would have thought it? So, right, here's the thing. They've said that the Warhammer 40k app, right? They warned us. They did warn us that the Battleforge bit is going to be going back to paid at the end of August, right? So that element of the app is still free, but will only remain so until the end of August. They did warn us about this. They did tell us, like they told us that it wasn't going to be free forever. But when they said that it was no longer going to be free, I obviously took to Twitter, and I was like, you know what? This actually kind of sucks because it being free was like a very positive thing for the community. It was just a very positive thing for the customers, for the players. It was a positive move to make it free. And of course, the fact that it was hugely popular and then made the game more accessible meant that they went back to charging for it. The number of people who looked at it and went, yeah, but they already told us it was going to be going back to paid. They're allowed to change their minds. Like, they can make different decisions. Just because they say, we're going to do this, if the overall reaction to something being available for everybody is, this is fantastic, this is a great idea, it would be great if we could keep it like this, they're not contractually... They own the app, right? They own the app. They do not have to charge for it. They choose to charge for it. And I knew that they would, but it doesn't stop it being disappointing that they still feel the need to. Given that having a centralised thing where new players can just be able to build their lists with an official app instead of having to find a free alternative, like, I knew they were going to do it. That doesn't stop it being a dumb move that they did do it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a case of, oh, they've betrayed us. Why didn't they do what they said they were going to do, which is keep it free? Because they never said that. It's just still that thing of, you can know that someone is about to do something that you think is a dumb move, and then when they do it, still say, yeah, that's still a dumb move. Like, that's all that was. But there was so much of, like, well, just pay for it. No, the point is that it's better if you don't pay for it, because that means it's more accessible for the community as a whole. Or, yeah, but they told us to. Yeah, they did tell us, and it was a dumb move then, and it's a dumb move now, and that's not changed. I don't know. I felt like I was like arguing something that no one else wanted to, or like no one else was prepared to. That, like, yeah, but they said they were going to do it, so that's the end of the discussion. It's like, it's not. You don't have to just see someone doing something and go, well, they said they would, so there is no further thing to be said. Instead of being like, yeah, they said they would, and it was still silly, you can still, like, I don't know, it's just like, it was just weird. It was weird. There was a lot of weird interactions that came about from that I just didn't really understand. Yeah, also, one-time payment. Okay. Still not perfect, but still better than subscription. Battlescribe is really off. I mean, Battlescribe has not really worked properly for me for 10th, which is one of the reasons that I was not particularly sticking with it. Plus, they raised the price for Warhammer Plus. Also, people need to stop telling Games Workshop that the AOS list builder is free. Stop telling them that. They're going to take it away. Stop it. Don't do it. What are you doing? Don't tell them that. Don't tell them that it's free. They're going to make it not free. Stop. Thing is, they will sell more minis with a free app list. But, well, that's the other thing as well. You take away spontaneity by doing this as well. Like, you take away the ability of someone to just be like, you know what, I'm going to throw together this quick list. Like, there's no barrier to entry with it being free. So there's more chance of, I don't know, I just, like, again, I knew they were going to do it. We all knew they were going to. That is not anything new or different, that like them charging for it. But it's still daft, you know? That's it. Yeah, I don't know. It'd be nice if Battlescribe worked a bit better. Also, I don't know a huge amount about the person who runs Battlescribe, but it feels like they take long leaves of absence until it starts affecting people paying for Battlescribe, and then suddenly something will get fixed. I don't know. Welcome back, Keith. Well, that's the thing, Ziggy. I don't expect them to miss out on making a bit of extra money at all. But yeah, it's just like, again, like, you can know that someone's going to do something that you think is silly and still say, I think that's silly, even though you already knew they were going to do it, you know? Take an upsurge of even more Space Marine units. Well, I mean, there are more Space Marine units on the way, and the app isn't free, so you're getting the best of both worlds there. When I say best, I don't mean best. New Recruit is a free alternative that just came out. Oh, interesting. Wait, so we've got a potential... I approve. New Recruit 40k. Well, that's promising. A modern free web-based builder. Okay, alright, you know what? Let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at New Recruit. Why not? Why not? This seems like a good time to give it a try. I mean, we're here. We're talking. So let's try out New Recruit and see if it is a suitable replacement. Web-based. I mean, to be honest, I like having an app, but it's free, so can you really complain all that much? So it's been recognised as the best army builder for the 9th Age. Oh, interesting. Okay. Because the 9th Age was the that was like the fan made kind of sequel, like extension of Warhammer Fantasy, wasn't it? Okay, so oh god, all right. So if we go to build, ages, there we go. Warhammer 40k 9th edition. Oh wait, 9th edition. Wait, why 9th? Where's the rest? Where's 10th? Can you just add 10th? Oh, there we go. Nice. Okay, so we've added 10th. There we go. Warhammer 10th edition. Create list. Let's see how this works. I've got hopes for this. You've raised my hopes here, gang. If this doesn't go well, this is your fault. That's not true. Why would it be your fault if it doesn't go well? Yeah, army roster. Okay, and then we just want create list. All right. We've already got a warning, presumably because we don't have anything set up. I mean, this is not quite... It's not, you know, going full old school and sitting down with a pen and paper and a calculator. But I'll be honest, I hated that. So, I don't mind that it's not that. Okay. So I want heavy bolter, and I want 2 heavy bolter sponsons. Excellent. And give me a storm bolter or heavy stubber has got a mix of heavy bolter and storm bolter. I'm just going to assume that's a typo there. We'll say heavy stubber. We'll ignore the fact that that's got a wrong thing. That's just a typo. 10th isn't finished due to the owner of Battlescribe not fixing errors, so 4K. Yeah. Yeah, that's the problem with Battlescribe that I've got at the moment. Right. We don't have any battle line. We're all tanks, baby. That's all we're here for. First thing we've got to throw in is the baneblade, obviously. So we want the extra 2 las cannons and 2 twin heavy bolters. We want the 2 twin heavy bolters. Yes, that's fine. That's legal, right? That's what that is. Although, no, that's additional sponsons, isn't it? So I don't want to add additional sponsons because I've only got the 2. Sponson weapons, 2 twin heavy bolters, and 2 las cannons. Right. So we don't want the additional sponsons. That just took me a second, but it's fine. Yeah. 780 points. Hilariously silly. Now, it's just a bunch of tanks. So we've got 2 Lehman Russ battle tanks. 1 and 2. Both of those have got heavy bolters. And that's got heavy bolter and heavy bolters. Okay, we've got a Lehman Russ Punisher, which we also want heavy bolters. Can you detect a theme for this? I just really want... I just love having loads of heavy bolters on them. That's literally it. There's no thought outside of that. I know heavy flamers would probably make more sense with some of the theme of the army, but I didn't want to do that, so I didn't. We need an executioner with plasma and las cannon, so we've got that. Nice. We need a vanquisher. Yes, we need a vanquisher with las cannon, but no sponsons. No sponsons. I know that sponsons are free currently, which is dumb. The baneblade is... What do you mean? Alec, man, look, I'm not taking the baneblade for Rolling Fortress. I'm taking the baneblade because it's a giant tank covered in guns. I don't care what it offers to infantry. Absolutely not bothered about anything that it does for infantry. That's not why I'm taking it. I'm taking it because it looks awesome. That's why I'm taking the baneblade. I'm afraid that's just how I approach all of my list building. So it's just like, is this badass? Yes. I'm in. That's it. Okay, and we need a exterminator. So we've got the exterminator roller cannon, which also has heavy bolter and 2 heavy bolters. There we go. And that is however many points that is. Where are we at? Wait, 2,475? What have I done here? Have I added an extra thing in? Because there's too much going on. Oh, there's 2 baneblades. I accidentally added 2. I added an extra baneblade. Okay, there we go. I've got rid of the additional baneblade. Always a sad thing to have to say. Get rid of an additional baneblade. We all want 2 baneblades. Oh, well, the free war gear is... It's one of those things where, for the most part, I don't have a problem with it. But when you're running an armoured company specifically, it means that there's literally no point not taking sponsons. And for some of the tanks that I've made, I don't... Well, like, for one specific tank, at least, I don't want it to have sponsons because I've built it to look a certain way. And I don't want to be putting sponsons on it, because it would spoil how it looks and what it's supposed to do. So it's just a thing of just like, well, it's silly to not take them because they're free, but at the same time I don't want to take them even though they're free, because that's not what that tank is for. It's just very specific to how I've built this army and when the war gear cost extra, like when the war gear had costs, that just meant that this was pretty much dead on 2,000 points or so. Now it's like 65 points below limit, and I can't change that. It just is what it is, you know. Actually, that reminds me, with the baneblade, if we add additional sponsons, does that increase the... No, it doesn't. So, okay. So yeah, technically you could just add additional sponsons. Yeah, I could just have all the sponsons? What? What's the difference between those two? What have I done here? What's the difference? There's no difference, is there? But you can only have one selected. Okay, that makes sense. But yeah, I'm not going to have two on it. I'm not going to have an additional two on it, probably. Although I might do. It depends. We'll say no for now, but there's a good chance that I will... One of them's supposed to be flamers. Oh yeah, I see. Two heavy flamers. Okay, that makes sense. I mean, it's tempting. It's tempting. It's tempting. So with... That's true. I can give the tank commander some enhancements. So we can have Death Mask of Alanius, Drill Commander. Well, each time a model in that unit makes a ranged attack. Grand Strategist. That's interesting. And finally... I mean, technically, can I get away with... I can get away with one or the other, can't I? So, yeah. Although it does say enhancements. Oh, yeah, okay, fine. Some of the layout of this is a little bit confusing. But you know what? It's easy to put together. I'll give them that. It's easy to put together. We do also have the... Okay, yeah. So we've got the profiles down the bottom. That's good. Yeah, you know what? This is... I mean, it's nice and simple to build lists. The layout is pretty good. It's not the most attractive thing I've ever seen. But does that even matter? Like, really? Does it matter? I don't know that it does. I don't really think it does. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's nice and easy. It's nice and easy to navigate. It's... With it being web-based, it's super quick and responsive. I feel like there are a few things here and there. Although pintle-mounted option there is right. It's just not right there. So there's just little things here and there on certain data sheets that aren't quite correct, but that's all stuff that, you know, at some point, no doubt, will be sorted out. But yeah, this looks decent. Seems to be doing exactly what it's supposed to do, so... What does the list look like when you export it? That's a good question. What's this warning? Oh, because I've got Warlord selected. There you go. Fine. Okay. Book revision 2, GS2 revision 3. Okay, so... Export list. Export list. Oh, okay, that's nice. So we've got text, PDF, pretty. What? Select book version, share link to list. So if we do that... Oh, nice. Hey, you know what? You know what? That's pretty decent. That's pretty decent. Yeah, okay. Okay. That's nicely laid out as well. So you got your HQ at the top. Everything else is in alphabetical order. Yeah. That's good. That's good. Just easy to read, easy to parse. Yeah, nicely done. Although, okay, so print and close, so we can print as, save as PDF, and that will give me a nice, interesting, and it will also separate it out into individual pages for each one. Although that is down to it being landscape, I want to say. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty decent. That's pretty decent. So, what... Oh no. Oh, God. Okay. So, if we go into list options, and then you go to the three things... If you just do normal PDF, what does that look like? Oh, okay, there we go. And there's a fairly simple text-only one. Doesn't work quite as well. That's gone a bit janky. I'm not sure what's happened there. That's a bit off. Also, we're lacking the actual data sheet there, I think. Oh Lord. Oh God. Oh, that's a hot... Okay, no, that's not the move. That's not the layout for me. That's not the layout for me. That's not the one. That's not it. That's not it for me, personally. That feels like it's all over the shop. All over the shop, that one. Yep. Nope. Definitely better doing the pretty export. Definitely better doing the pretty export. Although this one does lack the actual... No, does it? Does it lack... Yeah, it does sort of lack some of the extra, rules, but... Interesting. Okay. There is just a text-only option as well. Export this text. Super quick, super easy. Just got the thing and what it has. So the text version is not the most attractive, but it does the job. Interesting. Modify cost limits. I'm going to click it. Oh, that's just the only thing. Okay, that's fine. Well, you know what? I think that's alright. That's okay. So, show online forces. Yep. I mean, don't know why it says battle size incursion when that's not... You'd think if it was 2,000 points up there it would... but then again... Okay. Yeah, you know what? I think this is alright. I think this is okay. Decent enough. Now, the true thing would be being able to slot in the old Malcador furnace. What would I need to get rid of to slot that in? I mean, I could get rid of the Executioner. If we put that in and got rid of the Executioner... 1,990 points. Well, I mean, it looks like... Admittedly, the tank fund isn't all the way up to getting the Infernus yet, but I like the fact that we can just get rid of the... Oh no, I want the Executioner. It's the Exterminator I don't want. Get rid of the Exterminator. Give me the Executioner back. Okay. So, 2 plasma. You can have a Hunter Killer as well, because I'm feeling fruity. So, 1,985. Alright. There we go. There we go. There we go. The Malcador Infernus. Slot that in. We're all good. We're all good. We just get rid of the Exterminator and put the Infernus in. There's no Rogel Dawn because I haven't put it together yet. Look, man. The original plan for this armoured company started before the Rogel Dawn was revealed. And the original plan was what's up there. So 1 baneblade and 7 Lehman Russes. So we've got no anti-air. We've got no artillery support. We've got nothing in the way of sentinels or hellhounds or anything like that. It's just a baneblade and 7 Lehman Russes. That's what that army list was. And I had all of the stuff to make it. So then when the Royal Dawn was revealed, I was like, I'll get around to that eventually. Like, I've already got the army set up, so I'll paint what was originally the idea, and then we can expand away from that and sub things out here and there. But yeah, I do want to slip a Rogal Dawn in there, but it's it's on the list. I need to finish the Vulture. Really, the Vulture needs finishing, because the Vulture, I don't know, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. Although flyers are weird now, right? I can't remember how flyers work these days, but it would be cool to have that in there. So at some point, once the tank fund gets up there, we might be able to add a Malcador Infernus, and then eventually a Macarius Vulcan. Just going to end up with. And what I really want is to just rock up to Warhammer World one day with like 6,000 points of tanks. And that's what I really want. That's what I really want. I just want to rock up with all the tanks and be like, here we go. Let's have at it. If they start on the board as normal, if they hover, they start on the board. If they're normally counted as reserve, okay. Well, admittedly, you know what? This is a good time to try this out, right? This is a good time to try this out. So I do have another list that I've been toying with, but I've not been sure what to do with, because it is pretty much just a ton of, well, not a ton, but what I really want is I want a baneblade, I want a hellhammer, and a Stormlord. Like that's what I want. That's the meat of the army, right? The downside is that it doesn't leave you a lot for anything else. I mean, we can slip in a tank commander. Which is nice. But then we've got space for like one more thing. And I don't know what that one more thing would be. Unless we like, I mean, a couple of sentinels would be funny. Scout sentinels? Like, although how many scout sentinels would we need for this? 2 hellhounds. Oh, interesting. Oh my god. Oh my god. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? That is a 2,000 point army. That is exactly a 2,000 point army. A baneblade, a hellhammer, 2 hellhounds and a stormlord, plus a tank commander. I mean, come on. Surely that's great. I can't see anything going wrong with this list. I can't see anything going wrong with this list at all. It looks to me like we've really chanced upon something here. Obviously, you got to pick a warlord. Only one thing can be a warlord, so do that. Although, then again, I did at one point Artriel, yeah, but unfortunately, it's a lot to go into. I don't have one at this point. Raw, you can take 27 baneblades on a legal list. Okay, let's get rid of that and get rid of that. And we want to add. I want to add a knight. So force options maybe. No, do I need to? Can I add? Can I add something to this? How do I add? Under config? Am I being blind? I must be being blind. Oh, I've gone really hungry suddenly. Duplicate, modify, no, delete, no. In the menu. Oh, sorry, I see. Yeah. Okay. That also needs to change, doesn't it? So, show online forces? Am I being really blind? I must be being really blind because you're telling me to click things. I can't even see where it says show Imperial Knights. Oh, there it is. Okay, I see. It's because I was looking here at that configuration and not at that configuration. Alright. So... Allied units, spindle drones. No. Oh, yeah, okay, I see. So, show Imperial Knights. Right, there we go. Sorry, gang, I was being blind. Which then they will show up down here. Okay. Oh, that's pretty funny. Oh, damn it. Oh, not quite. Because that would be amazing. That would be great. I mean, 465, 10. Because I'm just throwing it out there. It's an option. It's an option, but it requires a little bit of. I mean, the Stormlord is already very cheap, right? The Stormlord's cheap. We're not going to get lower than the Stormlord, I don't think. I mean, the Shadow Sword instead of the Storm... Wait, what have we got? We got Stormlord. Shadow Sword, we could... What's the difference between the Shadow Sword and the Stormlord? I can't remember. Oh yeah, Volcano Cannon. Volcano Cannon. I meant points cheap. Not cash cheap. Points cheap. There we go. There we go. I mean, that's a perfect list. Baneblade, Hellhammer, Shadow Sword, and a Cerastus Knight Lancer. We're not that far off being able to do that. All we need to buy is another 2 Baneblades and the Knight when it comes out. That tank fund is going to be quite valuable. Quite valuable for making this happen if it ever does. It's not going to happen, is it? It's not going to happen. Yeah, that's the thing. There's no Warlord, which I think is a problem. We don't have anything to... Yeah. Okay. Is there a 15-point character? It seems unlikely that we're going to find a 15-point character here. 35 points for Commissar. Alright, hang on. We'll do 35 points for Commissar. Okay. Super cheap lad. We're now over by 20 points. The Hellhammer could be changed. The Hellhammer could be changed to a Banehammer? We did that, and then we got rid of the No. We got rid of the Hellhammer. Exactly 2,000 points. Exactly 2,000 points. A Commissar a baneblade, a banehammer, a shadow sword, and a Cerastus Knight Lancer, 2,000 points. Doesn't get any better than that, does it? I like it's actually perfect. And when I say actually perfect, I mean not at all perfect. It's totally not perfect. But still. Great. Yeah, you just have him stand behind the 3 tanks. What's going to happen? A 5 model 2,000 point army. And it's not knights is the thing. A 5 model 2,000 point army. And it's not just all knights. It has just occurred to me that we don't even need the knight in there if we take the commissar. Like, if we take the commissar, we don't need the knights. We could just have another baneblade of some kind. Like, the knight is fun, don't get me wrong. But we could totally just throw in another Bane-based vehicle. Although then that wouldn't be exactly 2,000 points, and there's something pleasing about it being exactly 2,000 points. Because you can have 3 of the same. You can have 3 of the same thing. 3 of the same datasheet. And Baneblade, Banehammer, and Shadow Sword are not the same datasheet, so you could totally chuck one in. Totally chuck one in.
I hunger. Yes, this was a necessary super chat.
Thank you very much, the Chris. The fund is for a good cause. It's true. It's for a good cause. It's for... Oh. No frivolous nonsense going on here. Well, okay, so hang on. If we got rid of the knight, basically charity. It's not. So yeah, if we put the Stormlord in, because then the Commissar can ride the Stormlord, the Banehammer could get subbed out back for the... What does the Bane Sword do again? I forget what the Bane Sword does. No, that's 2040. Damn it. So the Bane Sword's got that. Okay, so let's see. Right. So a Doom Hammer would take us to 2005. Damn it. I'm really trying to get, like, not right on the money, but as close as we can. I mean, I might be back to the Shadow Sword and get rid of the Doom Hammer. 1,990. There we go. 1,990. If you remove the knight, can you include a tank commander? Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. Like, the tank commander would be helpful, but without the tank commander and using a commissar instead, we can take 4 Baneblade variants, and it's still 5 models. Now, there is a downside to this, alright, gang? There is a downside to this list, which is that Baneblades aren't doing well right now. Like, Bane-based things are not doing well. Primarily because they can't move or shoot anything. But that's an exaggeration. But they're not brilliant. They're not brilliant. If you want points for a real officer, take 1 Stormblade. Yeah, but we get the Shadow Sword and the Stormlord. Like, we're looking good there. Stormblade is super cheap, but look, I don't necessarily build lists because they're gonna win anything. I build them because they'll be funny and or cool. That's pretty much it. That's as far as that goes. Is it sensible? No. Hello, Canoness Eleanor. Well, we started talking about tanks and how the Malkadoran furnace is fantastic, and so is the Macarius Vulcan. And somehow it turned into then talking about army lists and the fact that the Warhammer 40k app is going back to being paid, and so is the Battleforge. And then someone suggested trying New Recruit because it's a free alternative to like the Battleforge app. And so we made my actual Armoured Company list in this, and then we decided, I'm not really sure how, but we sort of decided to end up and build a list that's like 2,000 points of just baneblade variants. So I'm not really sure what happened there, but that's where we're at currently. That is currently where we are, and it's fine. It's fine. It's all fine. It's all good. All fine. So yeah, this is actually not a bad option. I'm genuinely going to export this just so we remember. Because I don't want to. Yes, we've also started a tank fund. All baneblades. There we go. I've saved that. Yeah, it's the best list. It just is. Yes, we started a tank fund for the Malkadorian Furnace, which I should have actually. To be fair to Asriel, I should have pointed out that I did have one for a bit, but I never got around to building it, and then stuff happened, and it had to be said goodbye to. But that would not be the case should a second one ever show up, because we would paint it on stream. Because I would love to paint it. It would be so much fun. It would be grand. It would be great. We would cover it in candles. Cover it in candles and flammable material, and give it some purity seals. And I don't think I'd paint it the same as the rest of the Armoured Company. I don't think I'd paint it the same. I think I would paint it. Oh, I don't know. Let's get the lad back up here. Right. So, I reckon. Come here. You. So that's the lad. That's one of the lads. And initially, I did think this would be the one to kind of model it after. So this is my Vanquisher. And I did think initially we paint it like that, so we do the kind of stripe, so it's blue at the back and white at the front. But I think I would be tempted, actually, to just paint it like mostly cream. Mostly do like the sort of creamy white colour, like all over it, because then, right, we could absolutely filthy it up. So if it was like that colour there, if the whole tank was that sort of colour, we could absolutely cover it at the front with like soot and ash. We could go wild with weathering powders and like really go for it with the streaking grime. Make every single rivet like really, really just mucky. I feel like that would be a fun way. That'd be a fun way to paint this tank. Something, a bit more, something a bit brighter, because then all of like the ash and smoke staining would be all over it. It would, I don't know, I feel like that would be the way to go. I feel like that would be the way to go. I mean, yeah, the trailer would have to be covered in candles, and I would also put a little shrine with a shell on it as well, just to really hammer home the chances of it exploding and killing everything around it. Because it's just a risk you take when you're traveling around with a giant flamer on a tank. It's just one of those things. You just got to accept the risk and run with it. Put the Triumph of St. Catherine over the trailer. That's actually quite a fun idea. Hello, Mika. Oh, good luck on your first day. I hope it goes well. You are going to absolutely nail it. You've got it. You've got this. Yeah, Elsie, you've got to get some candles on there. That's like part of the whole idea behind this whole force is just it's covered in candles. Covered in candles and all sorts. Flamer Guard tank list? That would be pretty funny. Oh, 3 Malkadorian Furnace. Why would you? Hello, Donald. Unless that's a tiny tanks. No, I'm not touching tiny tanks until we've painted the full-size tanks that we have. Alright? And if that means that the tank fund reaches completion and we end up with a Malkadorian Furnace, right? So be it. It'll just be another tank to paint before tiny tanks become an option. I don't make the rules, alright? I just enforce them. That's just how it is. It's just how it is. I kind of wish that tanks did have bases, but it would also make them a lot more difficult to place. But then again, I don't know, like all vehicles have got bases. What is a hell pit abomination but a fleshy tank? Add lots of blackened skulls, that's a really good idea. Would absolutely do that. What is a hell pit abomination? Oh god, I can't get over that sentence. Ugh. Ugh. Give in to the tiny tank temptation. I mean, I probably will at some point, just not for a bit. I'm being sensible. Look, you can't like peer pressure me into increasing the size of the pile of shame that I'm deliberately trying not to add to. No, I'm not having it. I refuse. This carries on, Doreen is going to get even more Tory. I pay her bills, right? Doreen she'll struggle to eat. I'll make sure of it. I mean, realistically, probably we're going to end up getting some tiny baneblades just for the sheer hell of it. But still, see, that's another one, actually. That's another one that's like, every now and again I get tempted by, but I'm never sure. So, the Stormhammer, right? The Stormhammer is cool, but I don't know. I don't know whether I would ever actually do much with it. Although it is pretty awesome. Can you even run it? Can you even run it in 10th? I don't think you can you, the Stormhammer? I don't think you could run it in 9th, could you? Isn't this a Horus Heresy only one? I can't remember. But it is cool. It is really cool. I love the extra gubbins on the back. The different shielding it's got over the guns. It's also just absolutely covered in las and explodey, which is fantastic. So much on top of just the normal chassis as well. I mean, look at it. Look at it. It's a good looking tank, that. It's a good looking tank. But I don't think you can even run it, the Stormhammer. Pretty sure you can't. I am like looking on the on New Recruit and I can't see it in there. The lower step leaves a lot of room for candles. It's true. It's true. Plenty of candle space. I've got Legends already I've already got legends in here because there's loads of stuff here that like Annihilator, Defender, Infernus, the Marauder stuff. That's all legends, I'm pretty sure. Same with the Vulture, the Valdor as well. Like I think we've already got legend stuff in here. I don't know if it's ever been available for 40k, but I can't remember. It might have been in 9th at some point, but yeah, it's a shame because it's fantastic. Just finished painting yellow and black checker pattern on a Terminator Power Fist. Awesome. Doing checks is really, really... it's not something I'm capable of. I'm not controlled enough to pull off something like that. Was there ever an official model for the Leviathan vehicle outside of Epic? I don't know. I don't think so. I think the only Leviathan we've had are the ones in Age of Sigmar or in 40k. I don't think we've had a full-sized one outside of Epic. I remember a regular at my old Games Workshop was kicked out of an Apocalypse game for the incredibly well-painted pin-up girl on the side of the baneblade. That's a weird one. I guess it kind of depends on who the rest of the people are in the room. Hate Legends keeps eating my stuff. Yeah, it's not great. It's better than them just vanishing without any rules, but it's also the way it's been implemented and the timing of a lot of it is not great. Working on an alternative paint scheme Dark Reaper squad. Oh, interesting. Thought it was tasteful even at 15 personally. Well, even hard for me is my painting hand is like the... oh my god. Do you think we'll ever get a Space Marine Overlord dropship? I would be surprised if we don't at some point. But then, isn't it like massive? Isn't it like Storm... I've forgotten the name of it. Thunderhawk. Isn't it like Thunderhawk sized? Or bigger? I can't remember. It's been a while since I've read about them, to be honest. I can't remember what they're supposed to look like now. I kind of figured that it would show up when the Primaris stuff appeared, you know, in some capacity, but then we just haven't had it, which is an interesting choice. But I really thought we'd see it at some point, at least. Stormbird or Thunderhawk. I think the Stormbird's bigger in it. I also couldn't say the word Stormbird. Stormbird. Can we also just take a moment to... Actually, no, yeah, the Stormbird's bigger, isn't it? Can we just take a moment to appreciate the imaginative naming? I mean, what happened? What happened there? The much superior ship, the Stormbird. It's just like the Stormbird and the Thunderhawk. They could have had it be something more imaginative than that. What do you think will be the Argram reveals for the Marines? Oh, yeah, I think you're probably correct on all of those. Multi-part Stern Guard, Jump Assault Intercessors, because we've just lost Assault Marines. There'll be new Scouts. I don't think there'll be a new Dread, because they've already covered all the bases with Dreads now. Assault Terminators, possibly. I don't think the new Terminator kit does both, does it? But I wouldn't be surprised if those showed up. Now we need a Stormhawk and a Thunderbird. It's true, we do. So yeah, the Overlord is bigger than a Stormbird and can transport a company. I don't know that they'll do one of those then. I mean, they did do the Manta, but... They haven't shown off a Terminator Chaplain, no. I don't think? They might change it to a more copyrightable name. That's also possible. Yes, Rybo. That is pins and needles in the background. I mean, to be honest, Games Workshop, with it's weird. It's like a weird situation where we're kind of having to congratulate them for reducing the bloat on the most bloated part of their game, which is Space Marines. But it wouldn't have been bloated if they'd have just redone the Space Marine range instead of introducing entirely new types of Marines. Like, the bloat is their own doing. It's like when your kids make a horrible mess and then they clean it up. It's like, on the one hand, well done, you cleaned up after yourself. On the other hand, you're also the ones who made the horrible mess in the first place. So you kind of have to. Stormhawk, yeah, you know what? The more I see it, Stormhawk and Thunderbird, way better. Although then there's the Thunderbirds. Maybe they couldn't get away with that, I don't know. Where are the Outriders with options? Well, they're gone. I will say, I did equate Outriders with Biker Squad in the video about the stuff going like out of production and being moved to Legends and whatever. And I know they're not direct equivalents, just the same way that a Tactical Squad and an Intercessor Squad aren't direct equivalents. But that's what Games Workshop see them as. You know? Oh yeah, the Stormhawk is already a thing, isn't it? Is it? The Stormhawk's the little one. Or am I thinking of the Storm... Yeah, the Stormhawk Interceptor. God, there's so many... They've all got the same name. They've all got the same name, and they need to stop. Alright? They need to stop it. Oh no. Oh, there's going to be a sneeze. Is it going to be a sneeze? There was a sneeze. I just saved your life. You can thank me later. That would have blown out your eardrums and killed you dead. Yeah, because we've got the Storm Talon, the Storm Hawk, and the Storm Raven. Which is silly. It's just silly. Also, the Landspeeder Storm. The fact there's different Landspeeders. Landspeeder Storm, Landspeeder Tornado, and Landspeeder Typhoon. The Landspeeder Tornado sounds daft. And then they introduced the Storm Speeder. So, in terms of flying stuff right now, for the Space Marines, you can have a Thunderhawk, a Stormbird, a Storm Talon, a Stormhawk, a Storm Raven, a Storm Speeder Hammerstrike, a Storm Speeder Hailstrike, a Storm Speeder Thunderstrike, and at the same time, briefly, you could have a Land Speeder, which is not too bad, but it's also the Land Speeder Storm, the Land Speeder Tornado, and the Land Speeder Typhoon. We have multiple variations of the word storm and speeder and bird all just flying around in annoying ways. This is why I can't remember what anything is called anymore. Right? It's not just me being rubbish. It is also that they overlap. They overlap so much. I mean, the Land Raider is also a pain. Honestly, the Land Raider is just as bad. But, yeah. Oh yeah, the Nephilim, the Dark Talon, the Dark Shroud, and the Vengeance. And then we've also got the Space Wolves one. What is it? The Storm Wolf? The Storm Wolf, which is part of the Space Wolves. Is it the Storm Wolf? It is the Storm Wolf, yep. Of course it is. Why did I even question it? Of course it was the Storm Wolf. What's the other one called? Is the other one called Storm as well? Storm Fang, that's it. Storm Fang and the Storm Wolf. Oh, God. It never gets old. It never gets old. The Space Wolf stuff never gets old. It's always funny, and it will always be funny. so many wolves. So many wolf things. You name it, there's a wolf thing for it. To be fair, I struggle with the Stormcast quite a bit. The Tau units do the
Obviously they were all found by Greg Storm.
Shout out to Greg Storm, the creator of all of these amazing vehicles. Thank you very much, Prometheus. Yeah, I struggle with the Stormcast ones and the Tau ones because there's so many suit names and it's all just letters and numbers put together, and I just don't know what any of them mean. Oh yeah, the Storm Surge for the Tau. Oh, it never stops. Just never stops. Yeah, the habit that Games Workshop have got into a little bit with with Stormcast. I mean, come on. The Vigilors, the Vanquishers, and the Vindictors. Why? Why though? And then the Vanguard Hunters. Like, it's too much. It's too much. We need it to be less silly now. At least the Stormcast do have some intuitive names. Yeah, that's true. 10,000 points of it? Jesus. Yeah, Marines and Space and Stormcast end in ER or OR. That's it. That's pretty much how it goes every time. Although you do get things like Masters of the Sacrosanct, and although then it's Retributors, Evocators, Judicators, Decimators, but then you also have Paladins, and it's like, wait, what? Although also, yeah, Annihilators, Praetors. It goes on. It goes on quite a bit. Breaches for me every time. Tau, Imperial Navy, 30k Marines, AdMech. Yeah, it's there's too many breaches. I mean, to be honest, breaches is kind of generic in that sense, but it also isn't easy to work out which one is which at, like, just a moment. I mean, the naming conventions can be a whole thing, Alex. It's just... Oh, some of them, I just have to wonder what happened. Like why? Like, what's the common thread? Like, intercessors and aggressors. It's like, okay, there's a bit of a theme going here. There's a bit of a theme. Hellblasters. I'm sorry, what now? Hellblasters? How does that fit in with intercessors and aggressors and inceptors? We're going to blast them with hell. What are you talking about? It's the same. I mean, they didn't even stick with it, because then we had like infiltrators and eradicators and heavy intercessors, but then there's still hellblasters. What? Also, those guys that have got the flamethrowers that the Black Templars have got, whatever they're called, I can't remember what they're called now. Well, that everyone's getting, I guess. Pyre Blasters, is that it? The Pyre Blaster? Just shocking name. Do you think we'll get a multi-part of the Screamer Killer? I doubt it. I think... unless they plan on redoing the whole Carnifex kit, using it as a base, but that seems unlikely. Oh, the Pyre Blaster is the name of the weapon. Okay, Infernus Squad. So again, doesn't match the actual naming convention of Primaris as a whole, but they did call the weapon the Pyre Blaster, which is also dumb. I mean, don't get me wrong, at some point we're probably going to end up doing the Black Templars Combat Patrol, but still going to call them out for silly names. That's half the fun of 40k, isn't it? Calling Games Workshop out on silly names. Oh my god, we've been live for 2 hours. That's gone pretty damn quick. I didn't think we'd been live for that long. Also explains why I'm getting exceptionally hungry. Been very good. I skipped breakfast, which is fine, but now it feels like my stomach is trying to escape through the back of my spine. I mean, what I really want us to do is paint Chaplain, Grimaldus and Retinue, because that's solid. But not until we've got a Markador in Furnace. Not until then. We need the Markador in Furnace. Before then, the replacement one at least. And then we got to paint it. We've got to. Oh yeah, evocators are the casters, aren't they? That's fair enough. I think it's just because it all slides off after a while. Like, the name does make sense, but then there's so many other names that it's, like, I don't know. It all starts to form a blur for me. Can't forget about Reavers. Oh yeah, the Reavers. At this point, it's pretty easy to make a Primaris version of a Tactical Squad. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, they're probably going to ditch Tactical and Devastator at some point. They'll just replace them with... I mean, Intercessors, kind of, they're already starting that in a way. But I feel like... for the Devastators, we've already got the Plasma versions, we've already got the Dumb Missile versions, we've already got some Melter-type ones in the form of the... Eradicators? Heavy whatevers? I feel like there's a few that they could do a Last Cannon version. They could easily do a Last Cannon version. And they probably will. The next Primaris Kill Team, Primaris Tactical Squad. Imagine. Imagine the outrage, though, because then you'd know that the Tactical Squad is on the chopping block. You know it would happen. I want Grav to come back. Grav's cool. Grav's fun. Yeah, the Sisters approach is better, Mr. Snakecake. Also, excellent name. Right, I need to go and get something to eat. I'm absolutely starving. Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. Thank you for contributing so heavily to the Tank Fund. We're going to be back on Wednesday. We're going to be back on Wednesday, where we will be finishing those 4 tanks that are up there. It's going to be an evening stream. I'm not entirely sure on the time yet, but it'll be sometime after 7. But there will be a scheduled stream like on the channel, so you'll be able to see well in advance what time it is. So that's going to be Wednesday night. We're going to paint some more tanks. We're going to see if we can get them finished. We'll see. It will be nice, but I don't know. It's also a bit of an ask. We'll just have to see how it goes, won't we? There's going to be videos all the way through the week in one form or another, but then you already know that, so I don't need to tell you that bit. There's normally videos. No, I'm not buying tiny tanks. Aslag. I'm not doing it. I'll see you later.